Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Dear, and today I want to talk about going with the flow. Cowabunga, dude! I just filmed this video and then I found out that my camera hadn't recorded the sound. So I had great footage, looked beautiful, didn't have any sound. It's a little bit annoying, but I know that I will be a little more warmed up. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Going with the flow is like catching a big wave. You don't want to be swimming upstream. You want to be swimming downstream, living with ease, living carefree, like cycling even, maximizing how we move through the world with the help of the world. Seeing what opportunities come your way in the present. It's a totally different mindset, and maybe not just mindset, but maybe like a different energy set. Life is about evolving and constant change. In order to talk about going with the flow, I have to talk about the opposite of that. Things like should, or expectation, or force. These are antithetical with fluid, flow, smoothness. If you're moving throughout the world and you come into a different situation, anytime that you notice that you're clinging on to something, just like remind yourself to let it go, to shake off that weight, let go of that pincer grip. In any of those situations where you feel yourself clinging, even if it's like clinging to like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a friend, a child, clinging to the hope of that job, that's like a stuck energy that doesn't work in your favor. And particularly when it comes to interpersonal relationships. I would also say that this is for jobs as well, but that's a little more woo-woo. But definitely with interpersonal relationships, people sense that energy and they're repellent towards it. Biologically, millions of years ago, our ancestors were slugs that only had two decision-making tools. It was either move away from the toxicity or move towards the nourishment. That's where we come from. So we will move away from things that are trying to pull at us or take something from us or want something that we don't want to naturally give. If we want to give it, then we will. But like if somebody's there going like, hey, you know, like nagging or any sort of like stuck energy, growing up a young woman, how I made sense of the world was to trace what had just happened and put it in a line of cause and effect, and then project that out into the future of then these things would happen, whether it's interactions with people or situations that are likely to happen. Just extrapolate all these expectations on what life is. But the problem with that is that any one of our lives is one single strand within the huge woven thread that is reality. But that's just one set of possibilities out of the grand total possibilities of what life can be. I think we should ditch expectations for a number of reasons. I say that we ditch them because they are limiting possibilities in the moment for what could happen, because we are measuring what is coming to us through a particular lens of our past experiences and our projections outward from them. Coming from a certain set of lived experiences, I can only predict that life can be like a certain amount of different combinations, but life offers a cornucopia of different lived experiences. We just don't know that, and so the problem with expectations is that I'm using my limited past experience to set all of the parameters for what my future can be like. And it's like, do you really think that I know enough that I can dream big enough? Like, where are these boundaries really of what is possible? Because I'm thinking that they're here, and so I'm just going to play within them, but maybe they're not here. Maybe they're further back. That's another video that I will make. I'm going to flesh it out. How I used to operate, move through the world, was if I was talking to you, I would take in information about who you see me to be and also who you would want me to be, and then use that information of the expectations you might have to then perform and give you something back. And it's a really obviously soul-crushing way of going through the world. It felt hollow. You're not offering yourself to the situation. So you're keeping yourself at a remove, which makes you feel safe. It made me feel safe. It's because you didn't think you're good enough. Managing all of those expectations takes a lot of energy. You would spend mental energy predicting future conversations, analyzing conversations you just had. Then, when somebody that you were interacting with has the balls to not perform for you like you've been performing for them, or maybe they just don't even get it right, it breaks your reality. There's all of this artifice that crumbles, and you become irate because you are angry with yourself for abandoning yourself and for setting up a situation where you have sold yourself out. And there was never a contract that actually asked you to do that. You're like, what the fuck have I been doing here? And that's how I feel about expectations. Yeah, they limit your idea of what is possible, therefore they limit what is possible. If you remove that, then there's a lot more options that naturally will start coming to you because you're available to see them. To talk about going with the flow, you have to talk about being in the present. All of the things that take you out of the flow are those things that have you stuck or are preoccupying your energy in some way, and you are missing what is really just like continuously flowing towards you. On this topic, I have to pay homage to Eckhart Tolle, my OG. Love him to bits. Eckhart Tolle's whole shtick is about being in the present. And it seems like a really simple idea, and it is simple, but boy, he can take that to the bank, which is definitely not why he's in the game. But anyway, it's like a bajillion-dollar concept. Being in the present grants you access to go with the flow. To be in the present moment is all you will ever experience. When you're thinking about the future or the past, you're only ever doing it in the present. And when you view it like that, it means the present is constantly washing over you. It's like now, 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 now. All these opportunities are coming to you at that instant or the next instant. I definitely have lived so much of my life planning what the future will be, judging things, extrapolating off of what has come before to what will come. What I'm going to advocate for today is that going with the flow, that different mindset will create fluidity. What is opposite to going with the flow? Well, it's anything that makes you feel stuck, any obstruction or constant hitting your head against the wall, having to really apply lots of force in order to make something happen. Now, I just want to briefly say something about hard work. You can still go with the flow and put in lots of hard work, but no matter what you do, bring an ease to it. Drop the weight, because the weight is self-applied, unless it's physical weight. But drop it. because that's all within your control. And I guess personal accountability is a huge part of this. You can work a shitty job that you don't like and still go with the flow. It's all about a question of intent and personal accountability, getting right with yourself and knowing why you're doing something, ditching the shoulds in your life. The shoulds are an exterior application onto you of other people's expectations, societal expectations, you projecting outward and then back at yourself expectations. It's messy and it's not coming from anything with you. So then of course you're going to feel a discord with it. So you can work a shitty job and still feel good about it and not feel like it's because of a should if you get your intention right within yourself. Ask yourself why you're doing things. If it is to put food on the table, that's a really good reason, you can feel good about that. And that's an internal grounding that is going with the flow. I guess a lot of this is about awareness and being clear with yourself and being in relationship with yourself, using that from the inside out rather than the outside in. Deepak Chopra has a mantra that really resonated with me. It is, I trust in life because I trust in myself. And for so many years, I tried it the other way around. I really tried to get my life in order to get me in order. I just tried the external things and it didn't work. We are so powerful, but it doesn't start with how we can express that power externally in the world. It actually all starts within us. We are capable of creating so much change, but it all starts within us. So you get right within yourself. You really start to pay attention to when your mind is going into the past and the future. And you realize that that is extra weight that is keeping you down. Going with the flow is keeping fluid in the moment. Anytime that you recognize yourself worrying is the most useless activity. I'm bitter about it. How much time of my life have I spent worrying? You can't do anything in that state of worrying. You're just pumping all these stress hormones, this fight or flight cortisol into your body. Now, thinking about what you're going to say to your boss on Tuesday. I mean, it's so natural to us. We are animals, that's where we've come from. So we're doing the best with what we've got. But it is a practice that we can do, and it does have such a great impact. And I'm speaking from personal experience here. When you notice yourself worrying and you realize that that's just either clinging on to something or carrying something, you can just realize oh, okay, put it down. I don't need that. And then you're back to being carefree again. And when the time comes for you to solve that issue, you will solve it in the present, which is the only place you've ever been. So the illusion of worrying and it being helpful worrying, it's no, either do something about it right now, which is in the present, or don't do anything about it and get it off of your mind. Another reason why you should choose to go with the flow is because if you are at war with yourself, you will not see the opportunities that life is presenting to you. When you choose to go with the flow, you're going to notice that there are so many more opportunities that are presenting themselves, and you're where have these come from? They were always there. We get so practiced in struggling that that's then the new lens that we're greeting new opportunities with. We see them through the lens of our struggle because we've become practiced in it. And we actually can't see the real light options that are coming towards us. The lens creates the experience. Yeah, life, I believe, is a flow. It's evolution, it's onwards, it's birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. It goes on. we are a huge wave together. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being with me as I worked through those points. I really hope that something in there helped you. If you liked this video, give it a little like. If you want to write something down below, let's have a conversation. Have a great day. Yeah, go with the flow. Be well. Thanks. Bye.